for being with me. And if you are new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button below and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. So today we are going to talk body image. I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about my struggles with body image. When I first met Jenny, I was about, I'll say 103 pounds. I'm 5 foot tall, so my weight for my height is only 105 pounds. Like, that's supposed to be my, perfect weight for my height, I guess. But I've always been underweight. Only when I was like 105 was when I was like 16, maybe 17 years old. So I have struggled a lot with weight, bouncing, back and forth, mainly down, not so much up. But so when I have been struggling, with losing a lot of weight and getting down to like 95 pounds, 93 pounds, I think was the lowest weight that I have been. It was really hard. It was a really tough time for me for the last 10 years. And the reason being is because when you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't even see beauty, you know that there's a problem. And not necessarily a problem with your body, but a problem with the way you see yourself. And I think that for me, I had a lot of stomach issues. I always felt sick. I had a really hard time eating. I didn't eat a lot at all. It came to the point where like there was times when I would just be curled up in a ball. Like I couldn't go to work. I would just sleep. I would just cry, being in pain all the time. And it just felt like, like a knot like stuck in the middle of my stomach all the time, And so it was really hard for me to eat. It was really hard for me to, get undressed, especially in front of my wife. Like, you want to feel sexy in front of the person that loves you and that you love. And regardless if it's that time, you're going to have sex or whatever it is. But you still, when taking off your clothes in front of the person that you love, that they love you regardless, but you still want to feel sexy in your own mind, that when the person is looking at you, you're looking at me because I look good. Like, you want to feel that way. You know what I mean? And you should feel that way about yourself, because as human beings, like, we are all built a certain way. We're all put here, I believe, for a purpose. So, I know that that's easier said than done, to love yourself, because I didn't for a long time. And so, I basically got to the point where I was getting down to about 93 pounds and I had to do something about it. Like, my wife was like, babe, you're beautiful. I don't care, but yeah, you are getting a little bit skinny, and I see that, you don't feel good all the time and you're always sick. So let's go to the doctor, But when I did go to the doctor, the first couple times I went to the doctor, it was mainly, oh, you have gas. It's just gas, take this, take that, take this. And for a little while that would help. But then that same pain would come back, and it was like I would have to like nip it in the bud first thing in the morning so that it didn't even happen. And then if it did, and I, had already taken something, it's a pill that you can't take, no more than one for 12 hours. So sometimes it didn't even help me, So then I, my dad did pass away from colon cancer, which was a big fear of mine. Getting older, you obviously don't need like a colonoscopy and things like that until you're in your late 30s, maybe even early 40s. And because my dad passed away so young from colon cancer. My dad died at 49 from colon cancer. So when I was having, all these stomach issues and, going to the bathroom was horrible, the doctor decided that maybe, we'll go ahead and screen you early, just because of the age your father passed away and the issues that you're having now in such an early age of your life. So the first thing I had done was an endoscopy, basically where they take the little scope in through your mouth and take a look at your stomach. So the first time I had the endoscopy done, I woke up and the next day I went back for my pre-op appointment, I guess you can call it. And the doctor told me that I have celiac disease. And I had never in my life heard of celiac before. I'm like, what? What is that? Like, what is that? Like, that sounds so random. Like something that happens in the Amazon. Like, I've never heard of it before. So when he told me it was a gluten deficiency, I was like, what the hell is gluten? I mean, like, the naivety of, ourselves when it comes to medical issues is apparent because we're not doctors, most of us. So obviously we have to go to the doctor to figure these things out. So of course I didn't know what these things were. So, and I also had H. pylori, which are stomach ulcers. And that's where the majority of my pain was coming from. And I didn't know that at all, that I had stomach ulcers. So that was one of the big things that was stopping me from eating, gaining weight, feeling good. I felt sick all the time. So I had to take a barrage of antibiotics and painkillers to try to get rid of the ulcers. And I was taking 4,000 milligrams, altogether 6,000 milligrams a day of pure antibiotics. And then I would take pain pills on top of that, which helped because obviously it was getting rid of the ulcers. But then it completely destroyed my gut, which made things worse. Like, it made things so much worse, you guys. Like, I just got to the point where my stomach hurt so bad and that I lived in the bathroom. My wife felt so bad for me, because there's nothing she can do, you know what I mean? So when I just kept on, going back, I finished my round of medication. I went back, I had the same test done again. I still have the ulcers. So I went through another round of antibiotics and pain medicine. So this was over a span of 2 years that I did this back and forth at the hospital and these medications constantly. Once I was done with the medication, it would completely destroy my gut, and then I would have to start taking probiotics, which helped so much, you guys. If you ever have any issues with your stomach, probiotics are a must. But so I went ahead and went with the probiotics for the second time, and then I was having the same issue over and over and over, and it just wasn't going away. So finally, I ended up having a colonoscopy and an endoscopy done at the same time. So obviously, the camera down the throat, the camera up the butt. So they put me to sleep for that, thank God. And I endured that. So I also found out that I have a tear in my stomach lining. So anytime I'm sitting, like if I'm not sitting right, or if I eat something, if I'm sitting hunched over or whatever, I feel that I guess that rock filling in my stomach actually protruding through the tear in my stomach lining. I'm just thinking to myself, what in the actual fuck? Like, for reals? You know what I mean? I'm in my early 20s. This is happening in my late 20s, early 30s. So, I dealt with this from the beginning of my 30s all the way till about 3 years ago. I'll say 3 years ago. So after I find out that, okay, I've got celiac disease, which means I need to cut out anything that has to do with gluten, bread, cheese, dairy, beer, all those things. And then I had a tear in my stomach lining. But the good thing was no colon cancer, no cancer of any sort was found. Thank you, God. So as far as the treatment for the stomach lining, probiotics and sitting up straight, that is how you fix that problem. I guess it heals by itself. And so I still had the stomach ulcers. So this is round number 3. At this point, they have sent me to, what is it called? They sent me to the Center for Disease Control. Now, when they tell you that you need to go to the CDC, you feel like the most disgusting person in the world. Like, I know that sounds bad. Oh, God. I know that sounds bad, but the feeling of the doctor telling you, well, this is really, really aggressive and there's nothing more I can do for you. So now you have to start being seen by the Center of Disease Control. And I mean, I cried, like on my way home, I cried, literally, like bawled my eyes out because I was like, babe, I am a walking fucking disease. Like there's something seriously wrong with me. If people find out that like I'm going to the Center for Disease Control, they're gonna think that I have like some crazy, like I had all these insane thoughts, you know what I mean? All these thoughts in my mind that I was just this walking trash can. Like really, that's how I felt. Never really did I relay that to my wife. She knew how I felt about myself, and when I looked at myself in the mirror, how disgusted I felt. When you can see all of this, you know, now it's nice and like sunk it in and fat has grown around it. But like when you can see all your shoulder blades just protruding out and like your ribs and like your butt, like I've always had a butt, you know, I'm half black, so I've always had a butt. And when your butt is gone and like your pants start to slide down, like it was all like that, seriously. And I would hate looking at myself. I would cry every day, you know. I cry still, like, because I'm a woman and and please, you know, forgive me for saying this, but I am a woman and I do not have boobs, and it kills me every day. Like, I know everybody says, love your body, boobs this, boobs that, but when you don't have them, you have no idea what it feels like to go and try on like a really super cute low cut shirt, like, yes bitch, this would be so nice, and then when you don't fill it out, it is the most horrible feeling. Like it's almost like you're half of a woman, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm speaking for myself, I'm not speaking for anyone else, I'm just, you know, reiterating how I feel. Basically, I've never had big boobs my whole life. It has always been a huge issue for me. Always. And I really don't care what anybody tells me. You know, if I get the chance to get my breasts done, I am doing it. Like, you can tell me whatever you want to tell me, but that is something that I feel for myself, to make myself happy, and to complete the way I feel I want to look, not I should look, but the way I want to look. And my wife is always like, you are so gorgeous and your body is beautiful, but I want you to be happy with yourself too. It's not just about me and how I feel. And as much as I want to please my wife and I want her to be happy with my body and I want her to be happy with me, she is 100% happy with me. But if I'm not happy with myself, I don't feel like she can be happy with me too, because then I'm constantly bashing myself, you know, and she's always having to come back and try to build me back up. And she did that for so long. Like, this woman is amazing. She has held me down and she's been by my side through it all. And she's always thought I was beautiful. Like, she's never told me anything different. Yeah, she jokes around with me from time to time, but I joke around with her too. So basically, after going to the CDC, I was given a whole cocktail of different medication that I needed to start taking. And it was another round of antibiotics. This time I was taking, I believe, 8,000 milligrams. And this was for 2 weeks. 2, 4, 6 pills a day on top of the pain pills. So finally, I went back to the Centers for Disease Control. I got tested. They did the test on me again, and thank you God, my ulcers are gone. My stomach is healing. The celiac I dealt with on my own. I changed my diet. I changed my habits. I changed my beer. I changed my bread. I did all of that. But it seemed like as soon as I got rid of the stomach ulcers, the H. pylori, the tear in my stomach lining, and the pain was gone. Completely gone. So I now know that it was the stomach ulcers that I had that was causing so much pain. And so, you know, dealing with that for a long period of time really takes a toll on you, you know? It takes a toll on your self-esteem. It takes a toll on the way you see yourself. You know, when you look in the mirror and you're looking back at yourself, like, I have come so far in the last, I'll say, 7 years dealing with this. I've come really far from it. I've actually gained weight and I'm happy. I have cheeks, like, you know, you can, like, this is good. Like, I have a stomach now. I'm actually over my weight of 105 that I was supposed to be at, which to me is absolutely incredible because I have never been over my goal weight, which is 105. And right now I'm double that. So I am very happy with myself right now. I do still feel like there's a few things that could make me happier, but at this point, just getting over all of that crap that I had to deal with and endure made me learn to love myself and learn to love the person that I am. And I do, like, I love myself and I love who I am. So anyways, the point of this video basically was just to tell you that as long as you have support behind you and people that love you, no matter what's going on physically in your life with your body, listen to the people around you. And if you feel like none of those people make sense, seek help. Talk to somebody that you feel comfortable with. For me, you know, I felt comfortable telling people how I was feeling and what I was going through because you never know if the person sitting next to you is going through the same thing. And for a long time, when I would complain and complain and complain, I would get this what's it called, like one of those memes or whatever, and it would be called, my mom sent it to me, and it was called the invisible illness. And if you look at it, like, it's like all this 2 lists of things that on a daily basis, I'm sure that anybody watching this can probably relate to, and invisible illnesses, you know what I mean? So for a long time, that's what I thought it was. Maybe it was just in my head. But no, you know, if you feel a certain way, if you're not feeling right, if you're not feeling, you know, 100%, take yourself to the doctor. It doesn't hurt to get a couple tests because it could mainly, you know, definitely something that can save your life in the long run, and also can make you so much happier. So thank you for listening to my story and letting me shed a tear or two. But I just wanted to, you know, kind of let you guys know my journey and what I've kind of dealt with in my life, and where I'm going now, and how I feel. Like I said, I feel amazing. I am very much happy with myself now, and I'm going to continue to work on the person that I am, on the inside more than anything, but on the outside, I mean, you know, I'm only human. So anyways, if you guys have any questions about this video, or if there's anything else you want to see, or if you're having any of these problems and there's anything that I can do to help, please leave me a message below and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I do appreciate you guys sitting here and listening to me blabber on, but I hope that this was informative for you. And again, please don't wait. if you're not feeling well, take yourself to the doctors. It could definitely save your life. All right, guys, be sure that you are subscribed, and we'll see you next time. Mwah.